Would you believe me if I told you that sales and new listings here in Calgary are down 40% year over year, but yet somehow we're still seeing multiple offers on properties, along with the total residential price in Calgary up 1% from last year? Is there something wrong with Calgary's real estate market, or is there something else happening behind the scenes? In today's video, I'm going to go over all things Calgary real estate market for the month of March. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh Murdick with Real Broker. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary, and I am making videos twice a week to help you on your buyer or seller journey. So if you have any questions about anything real estate related, click the link below to schedule a one-on-one meeting with me. We can get to know each other better and discuss your needs so I can help you out the best that I can. And without further ado, let's get right into today's video. The month of March is super important for real estate here in Calgary because it's the beginning of the spring market, and it gives us a bit of an indication as to where we're going to see the rest of the spring fall into place. And let me tell you that this month, the month of March, was a pretty crazy one. So let's get over into the numbers, into the nitty gritty, and see what we can see and see how the market is really doing. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of this market update, I wanted to go over 3 of the more important key indicators, just so you have a general idea of what's going on here. So the 3 indicators that I'm talking about are sales, new listings, and the current inventory that's on the market right now. So these 3 indicators took a major hit this month, year over year, and also just even year to date. So you can see sales in total for the month of March were 2,432, which is a pretty big hit, as year over year, that's 40.6% down. Now, as far as new listings, the new listings that hit the market were 3,318, and that is just under 40% year over year decrease as well. And then as far as the inventory goes, that was sitting at 3,233, which is slightly better decrease, but still a pretty big hit from last year of 26.4% year over year. Now, these 3 kind of go hand in hand because, of course, without inventory, you're not going to get as many sales. And without the new listing, you're, of course, not going to get as many sales. So they do kind of go hand in hand. And we do generally see if one's down, then the other will be similarly down as well. And if one's up, then the other will be similarly up as well. But now that we've gone over that, so you can get a better idea of where we are compared to last year, let's go over the actual prices and the different areas of Calgary. Now let's talk about pricing and where we are with homes values in Calgary's real estate market. So the most broad indicator is the total residential price for the month of March, which is $541,800, which is, as you can see on the screen here, 0.8% increase year over year. So it is a slight increase. It's nothing major, but it is, of course, a little more than it was last year. But let's go a little bit more into the specifics and see what each different property type did. So the 2 biggest jumps in pricing that we saw in the month of March were apartments and rows. They were both up around 10% year over year, which is a very dramatic increase. Obviously, we don't see that kind of increase normally. And the biggest contributing factor to that is, 1, just demand in general. The demand for housing in Calgary is exponentially increasing with all of the migration that's going on, because everyone is seeing Calgary as massive potential to grow. And the second reason for that is a lot of people are just getting priced out of the semi-detached and the detached markets. And with the rising costs of everything, honestly, these days, but especially the housing market, people are just not able to afford what they used to be able to. So they are either downsizing or looking at different options, and that is either an apartment or a townhome. So that is the biggest driving factor for those 2. And as far as detached and semi-detached pricing, they're both sitting around the 2% positive year over year increase. So breaking the price points down a little bit more here, as you can see on the screen, it is broken into the different sectors of Calgary by what their average price point was in the month of March, of course. And so you can see the biggest jump in year over year pricing is the east end of Calgary. And the biggest reason for that is because the east is mostly older homes. So you'll see a lot of the older communities and they're becoming a little bit more outdated. So what we have seen in the last couple of years is a lot of investors and flippers go into those communities and kind of raising the value of the homes in there. And so that's kind of what we're seeing there. And then other than that, we're not seeing too much deviation. The Northeast 2.2, Northwest 2.3%, North 2%. So the North as a whole is around 2%. And then the South, not as much of a price increase, 0.1 for the Southeast and 1.3 for the South. And then we have the West End, which had a 0.2% increase. And the reason for that is because it's more of a higher end type of market. The homes there are typically valued more than what they would be in a different part of the city. So you don't see as much of a deviation in the price points from year to year. It's more of a slow incline. But it is positive news because, as you can see, none of the sectors in Calgary saw a negative drop in prices. All right, if you're a buyer in this market, what can you expect and what should you be doing? So as I've kind of stated throughout this entire video, it is a little rough out there for buyers. The sellers definitely have the upper hand in most cases, especially when it comes to homes in kind of the mid-tiered price range, just because that's what's moving the most. So I would say a couple tips for you would be, one, of course, getting pre-approved and having that pre-approval letter ready for when you send that offer in, just so that the seller knows that your finances are all in check and you don't have to worry about that. And second would be talking to your realtor about tightening up your offer to purchase, the conditions with those. So obviously the less conditions, the better. No conditions is best, but I do realize that sometimes that's just not possible. So doing your best to get those conditions and that offer as tight as you possibly can, working closely with your realtor. And third is being ready as soon as possible to hit and see as many homes as you can, as many of the new homes, because we are seeing that homes are selling within days of going on the market. So just being ready, being prepared, and of course having a real estate agent that will be able to think on his toes and be there all the time for you, which is very important to have that support in this kind of market. As far as what potential sellers should be doing or what they can expect, I think you guys probably know already what I'm about to say, but if you are thinking of selling, I would highly, highly recommend you do that as soon as possible. You won't see a better time to sell your home in at least the next couple months. I don't have a glass ball and I can't tell you about the next couple of years, but this is most definitely a great time to be selling your property. What you can expect, as long as it is priced properly, is a lot of traction and hopefully at least a few offers, because we have seen that is kind of the new norm as of now. So yeah, if you are thinking of selling, please reach out so that we can get these listings up and get the market a little more balanced out. So after going over the numbers for the month of March, we can see that we're still in a healthy market. Prices are still going up. There's no crazy jump in prices, but they are steadily increases, which is obviously a great sign. But the only thing that me and probably all the buyers out there in Calgary would love is for more inventory. It's something that we desperately need, and something that I do see happening with the spring market kind of coming upon us. Obviously, it's kind of the beginning of the spring market, but sometimes a lot of sellers are a little skeptical and kind of wait it out to see where the market is and don't end up listing towards the middle to end of the spring market. So I do think that we will see for the month of April a bigger increase in the listings and the active inventory. So we'll see how that goes. That is going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope that you learned something and enjoyed this video. If you have any feedback for me, I would love if you could write it in the comments down below, and hit the like button and subscribe while you're down there. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you have any questions or you would like to inquire about marketing plans, how I go about selling your home, or how I go about the whole buyer process, please feel free to hit that link in the description and book a call with me. We can get to know each other a little better and make a plan for you. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.